Today, we're going to teach you how to make this little disguise pig. Their heads, bodies, hands, hats, skirts, and crochet methods are all the same. The hat's edging, bag, accessories, and scarf. Just watch the corresponding videos. First, let's make a general video. Let's start with the head. The pig's head, hands, and body are all flesh-colored yarn. So, take out the flesh-colored yarn first. Let's start by crocheting the head. There are two types of crochet stitches in total. One is the loop stitch, and the other is the slip stitch. We're going to use the loop stitch here. Let's start by teaching you the loop stitch. Hold the yarn end with your right hand and hang the yarn over your left thumb. Wrap the yarn around and make a loop over your index finger. Hold this yarn end with your index and thumb. Then, take out the crochet hook. Use the thinner end. Insert the crochet hook from underneath this loop. Then, pull the yarn hanging loose through. There's a loop formed on the crochet hook. Next, wrap the yarn from underneath. Pull this yarn through this loop. This loop is now secure. This yarn end can move. You can pull it tighter, just a little bit. This slip stitch is the first round's initial stitch. It serves as the height for the first round and is not counted as a stitch. Now, crochet 6 single crochets inside this loop. Insert the crochet hook from beneath the yarn. Now, there are 2 loops on the crochet hook. Wrap the yarn from underneath. This completes 1 single crochet. Then, continue crocheting 5 more single crochets in this loop. Now, the first round is finished. First, let's use a stitch marker to make a mark. Next, crocheting. The second stitch is also the same. Insert the crochet hook from inside the loop. Pull the yarn through from above. Now there are 2 loops on the crochet hook. Then, insert the hook from underneath the yarn and pull it through these 2 loops. This is the second single crochet. After crocheting, there's also a V-shaped stitch. Counting the V-shapes tells you how many stitches there are. Then crochet the third stitch. Still, pull the yarn through from above. Then wrap the yarn from underneath and pull it through these 2 loops. This is the third stitch. Then, crochet the fourth stitch. The following stitches are done the same way. Crochet 3 more stitches. After completing 6 stitches, you can count the V-shapes above. There are a total of 6. The loop on the crochet hook does not count. Remove the crochet hook and pull the loop. Then tighten it to form a loop. Ensure there are no holes in the middle. Then remove the stitch marker. This is the last stitch of this round. It should coincide with the stitch made for the stitch marker. Draw the ends together to complete this loop. Insert the crochet hook into the marked stitch. Pass the yarn tail through and place it above the crochet hook. Let's do some yarn hiding now. Cut off the excess yarn. Then, insert the crochet hook from above and pull the yarn through. Once pulled through. If it's a short stitch, wrap around once more and pull through these 2 loops. The finishing hook goes directly through the front loop and then the back loop. This completes the join. The loop becomes a complete circle. This loop now becomes a fully formed circle. Next, let's start crocheting the second round. Firstly, you still need to crochet a starting stitch. Insert the crochet hook from below and pull up a loop. This is a starting stitch. Every slip stitch or single crochet will have a V shape above it. Let's take a look. This is the starting stitch and the finishing slip stitch. This is the starting stitch's stitch. It's a bit less obvious. This is the finishing slip stitch's stitch. These 2 stitches are not counted in the stitch count. The stitch above the last single crochet made is the final stitch. This stitch is the last one. So, be careful not to mistake it when crocheting. Next, let's crochet the first stitch of the second round. The second round involves 6 increases. An increase means crocheting 2 single crochets in the same stitch. First, crochet the first single crochet. Crochet it into the marked stitch. The draw up and the initial stitch do not count as stitches. After inserting the hook, the yarn is still placed above the crochet hook. Then, pull the yarn through from above. Now, there are 2 loops on the hook. Wrap around once more. And pull through these 2 loops in one go. Use the V-shaped stitch from above. This stitch is the first stitch of the second round. Place a stitch marker here. Crochet a single crochet in the same marked stitch. And still in the same stitch, crochet another single crochet. The second stitch is completed. Next, the following stitch is also an increase. Insert the hook into the stitch. Ensure both strands of the yarn are caught. This forms a complete stitch. Place the yarn above the hook. Then, pull the yarn through from above. Then, wrap the yarn around the hook from below once more to pull through these 2 loops. Then, crochet another short stitch in the same stitch. The method of crocheting short stitches is the same, so I won't repeat it. Practice crocheting more, and you'll become proficient. Then, the next stitch is also an increase. At the beginning, it's easy to split the yarn. It's okay, you've formed 4 strands of yarn. Just crochet all 4 strands over. Then, crochet another one in the same stitch. This is the 3rd short stitch increase. There are 3 more stitches left. 3 more short stitch increases are needed. After the last stitch is crocheted, there's a gap here. There's a draw-up loop and a starting stitch here. Don't crochet into them, they're not counted as stitches. Once this round is completed, you can count if there are 12 stitches above. Then, remove the stitch marker and finish with a slip stitch. That completes the 2nd round. Next, as usual, create a starting stitch. Let's begin the 3rd round. The 3rd round involves alternating single stitches and single stitch increases. Repeat this 6 times. Firstly, start with a draw-up stitch. Crochet it into the marked stitch. Alright, this is the 1st stitch of this round. Place a stitch marker here. The next stitch is a single stitch increase. Wrap the yarn around the hook from above. Crochet another single stitch in the same stitch. The 1st set is completed. Next, crochet a single stitch in the next stitch. This completes the 2nd set. Then, crochet a single stitch, increase. This completes the 2nd set. The same method is applied to the remaining sets. Crochet it all the way around. Repeat the 3rd round, single stitch increases 6 times. Firstly, start with a draw-up stitch in the marked stitch. After completing the 1st stitch, place a stitch marker. The next stitch is a single stitch increase. Crochet from above, then crochet another short stitch in the same stitch. The 1st set is complete. Next, crochet a short stitch in the next stitch. This is the 2nd set. The next stitch is a short stitch increase. After completing the second set, there are 4 more sets left. That's a total of 8 stitches remaining. Crochet 2 stitches into 1 loop. Crochet all the way around. The third round is completed. You can check the number of rounds. This is the first round. It's easy to count the second and third rounds. This is the right side. The wrong side looks like this. The horizontal line pattern indicates the wrong side. Leave all the yarn tails on the wrong side. You can cut off excess yarn tails or tuck them in. After completing the third round, remember to start with a draw-up stitch. Then crochet another starting stitch. Tighten the starting stitch a bit. This way, these 2 stitches won't be obvious. People won't mistake them for one stitch. The fourth round consists of 1 short stitch, 1 increase, and 1 short stitch. Repeat this pattern 6 times. The first stitch is a short stitch. Align each first stitch with the first stitch of the previous round. Crochet the first stitch of this round into the first stitch of the previous round. After crocheting the first stitch, place a marker. The next stitch is an increase. The third stitch is a short stitch. This completes 1 set of short stitch, increase, short stitch. Second set, single crochet, increase, single crochet. Now, there are 2 sets. Complete the remaining 4 sets on your own. Now that this round is completed, move on to crochet the 5th round and remove the marker. Start with a draw-up stitch, then crochet a slip stitch. The 5th round consists of 3 short stitches and 1 increase. First, crochet 3 short stitches. Then, the 4th stitch is an increase. An increase involves crocheting 2 short stitches into 1 stitch. This completes the first set. I'll demonstrate 1 set, and then you can complete the remaining 5 sets on your own. Finish crocheting the remaining 5 sets. Next, move on to crochet the 6th round. Finish with a draw-up stitch and then crochet a slip stitch. This pattern repeats for each round. The 6th round consists of 2 short stitches, 1 increase, and 2 short stitches. Repeat this pattern 6 times. The first stitch consists of 2 short stitches. Then, crochet and increase in the next stitch. The third stitch consists of 2 short stitches. Complete the remaining 5 sets on your own. Now, the 6th round is completed. After completing the last set of each round, just enough to finish crocheting the stitches of the previous round. If there are any discrepancies, check your work. After completing a round, make a draw-up stitch. Then crochet a slip stitch. Crochet another standing stitch. The 7th and 8th rounds consist of 36 short stitches each. In each stitch of these 2 rounds, crochet 1 short stitch. Once you finish crocheting these 2 rounds, complete them on your own. You'll notice the fabric slowly taking shape as you crochet. To begin the 9th round, start with a standing stitch. The 9th round consists of 5 short stitches followed by an increase, repeated 6 times. Start by crocheting 5 short stitches. After crocheting 5 short stitches, the 6th stitch is an increase. An increase consists of crocheting 2 short stitches into 1 stitch. This completes 1 set. Repeat this pattern for the remaining 5 sets. Once you finish the 9th round, the 10th to 12th rounds consist of 42 short stitches each. Crochet 1 short stitch in each stitch for a total of 42 stitches. Crochet up to the 12th round on your own. Now, we've completed the 12th round. The increases in the 13th round are to create the cheekbone. Start by crocheting 11 short stitches. Afterward, crochet 6 short stitches followed by an increase. An increase consists of crocheting 2 short stitches into 1 stitch. After crocheting 7 short stitches, crochet 1 short stitch in each stitch. After completing 7 short stitches, follow with 6 increases. Next, crochet 12 short stitches. After completing the short stitches, make a draw-up stitch with the first stitch. The 14th to 16th rounds consist of 54 short stitches each. Each round consists of 54 short stitches. Complete these 3 rounds on your own. Once you finish the 16th round, make a draw-up stitch. Then, crochet a standing stitch. Let's begin the 17th round. Start by crocheting 11 short stitches. After completing the short stitches, crochet 6 short stitches followed by a decrease. To decrease, insert the hook into the next stitch closest to you. This is called the outer loop. Yarn over and pull up a loop through the outer loop. 1 stitch inside, 1 stitch outside. We pick the outer loop. Pick the outer loop of the next stitch as well. Then, yarn over and pull through both loops. This way, we've joined the stitches together and decreased 1 stitch. So, we call it a short stitch decrease. Next, continue to pick the outer loop. Bring the 2 loops together. The 2 stitches are now one. Then, crochet 1 short stitch. The second stitch is completed. There are still 4 stitches to decrease. 6 short stitch decreases are completed. Next, crochet 7 short stitches. After completing them, crochet 6 short stitch decreases. Follow the same method as before. Finally, crochet 12 short stitches. After completing the short stitches, the round is finished. The 18th round consists of 5 short stitches followed by 1 short stitch decrease. Repeat this pattern 6 times. Start by crocheting 5 short stitches. After completing 5 short stitches, crochet a decrease in the 6th stitch. Join the 6th and 7th stitches together. This completes one set. There are 5 more sets to crochet. The 19th round consists of 2 short stitches, 1 decrease, and 2 short stitches. Start by crocheting a standing stitch, followed by 2 short stitches. Then, join the 3rd and 4th stitches together as 1 decrease. Followed by 2 short stitches. This completes one set. There are 5 more sets to crochet. Complete them at your own pace. Next is the 20th round. I already crocheted a standing stitch. The 20th round consists of 3 short stitches followed by 1 decrease. Start by crocheting 3 single crochet SC. Then, crochet 1 short stitch, decrease. This completes one set, and there are 5 more sets. Continue to complete them. After completing this round, stuff a bit of filling. Don't overstuff, we'll have the opportunity to add more later. The 21st round consists of 1 short stitch, 1 decrease, and 1 short stitch. Start by crocheting 1 short stitch. Then, crochet a decrease with the next 2 stitches. Followed by 1 more short stitch. This completes one set, and there are 5 more sets. Continue to complete them. The 22nd round consists of 1 short stitch followed by 1 decrease, repeated 6 times. Start by crocheting a standing stitch. First, crochet 1 short stitch, then crochet 1 decrease. This completes the first set, with a total of 6 sets. Complete the remaining 5 sets. Before doing the decrease, stuff some filling inside. Now, we've stuffed the cotton inside. Try to make it as full as possible. After stuffing, proceed to do the last decrease. After the decrease, pull the yarn tail to close. Leave some thread and cut it off. This thread is used to sew with the body. There's also a small gap here for sewing with the body later. Next, let's make the hands. The hands are also made with flesh-colored thread. Start with a circular cast-on, making 6 stitches. From the 2nd to the 8th round, crochet 6 short stitches. I'll demonstrate the first 2 rounds, and then you can continue on your own. After that, you can continue crocheting by yourself. Here's the first short stitch. If you're unsure about the position of the first stitch, you can use a stitch marker. I won't be using one here. After crocheting 6 stitches, tighten the thread. Then, thread it back and do a slip stitch with the first stitch. Keep the thread on the hook to hide it while sewing. Hook another chain, stitch. From the 2nd round to the 8th round, it's all 6 single crochets SC. For those requiring a stitch marker, place it on the first stitch. When hooking here, the right side will end up on the inside. So, we need to flip it. The right side should be facing outwards. Hook like this. and one final stitch. Next is the second round. Still, start with a slip stitch S's. Leave this yarn end inside or cut it off. Hook a chain stitch, then a single crochet SC. The same for both hands. This is the last single crochet SC of the 8th round. Then, slip stitch S's with the first stitch. After the slip stitch S's, hook another chain stitch. This chain stitch will secure the yarn. Now, cut it off, because this arm will be sewn onto the body. Since it's hooked across, there's no need to leave a yarn end. Insert from the first stitch for the slip stitch S's. Pass this stitch of the slip stitch S's through and hook the yarn end to the back. Insert it into the arm. Don't cut it too short. After stuffing it, set it aside for later use. Hook another one for the same arm.